The courtroom was silent, so silent that the creak of the benches echoed like thunder. Sunlight cut through the tall windows, laying golden stripes across the polished floor. At the center of it all sat Era Whitman, her trembling hands resting on her swollen belly. She had walked into that courthouse carrying not only her unborn child, but the crushing weight of betrayal, shame, and the fragile hope that truth might finally break free. Whispers swirled like storm winds, and then her body gave in. Era collapsed against the table, and gasps rippled across the chamber. For a moment all eyes turned not only to her, but to the woman in crimson, Cassandra Hart, whose smirk lingered like a cruel dagger in the air. Era had once dreamed of a simple life, a home filled with laughter, a faithful husband, a child born into love. That dream shattered the day she discovered her husband, Adrian Whitman, had strayed into Cassandra's arms. Admired as a wealthy entrepreneur, Adrian denied nothing when confronted. Instead, he filed for divorce, sided with his mistress, and accused Era of infidelity to shield his reputation. Cassandra's venomous support made the betrayal sting even deeper. Pregnant, broken, and humiliated, Era held to one truth: the child she carried was Adrian's. And so she found herself here, in court, awaiting a DNA test that would decide the future of her baby, and her dignity. The trial was merciless. Cassandra smirked at her daily, lawyers twisted her life into lies, and Adrian's arrogance loomed large. But Era stood firm, clinging to faith that truth would stand stronger than deceit. The day she fainted, the courtroom overflowed with onlookers. Some came for gossip, others to witness Adrian's downfall. Revived by paramedics, Era refused to leave. Pale but resolute, she whispered to the judge. She had to hear the results. The judge, moved by her strength, agreed. The clerk carried in the sealed envelope. The room tensed. Cassandra leaned back, arms crossed, her scarlet dress glowing like fire. She exchanged a confident smile with Adrian. They believed they had already won. But Era's tear-filled eyes never left that envelope. One hand pressed against her stomach. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for her child. The judge broke the seal, scanning the paper in heavy silence. The ticking clock grew deafening. Then, in a voice steady as stone, the truth was spoken. Adrian Whitman was the father. The room erupted. Gasps crashed like waves. Adrian's face drained white. But it was Cassandra's reaction that silenced the crowd. Her smirk dissolved, her arms fell limp, her lips trembled. For the first time, she was speechless. Tears streamed down Era's cheek. Relief, fierce and unshakable, swept through her. After months of humiliation and despair, truth had risen like a shield. No lie could erase it. The judge condemned Adrian's cruelty and granted Era full protection and financial security for her child. Adrian's empire began to crumble as investors fled. Cassandra, once paraded as his pride, slipped from the courtroom, her arrogance shattered, her silence louder than her venom had ever been. Era walked out with her head high. Sunlight outside was brighter than it had been in months, warming her face like a promise. Strangers approached with tears and kind words, and she realized she was not alone. There were still people who believed in truth, in justice, and in kindness. Months later, Era rebuilt her life. She welcomed her son into the world and named him Gabriel. God is my strength. Each night she cradled him close and whispered promises of love, protection, and hope. Her scars remained, but they no longer defined her. What defined her was courage, resilience, and a love so unbreakable it turned betrayal into victory. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Together we can spread stories that remind the world, truth always finds its way, and love always endures.